Hello and welcome to Frankskwl. That glare, I'm about ready to give up on it for the time being. I know it's there. Course catalog, third year. Well, sort of a course catalog. Later on I'll do something more detailed. But the 3 indicates the third year of my teaching here. And this I can deal with quite quickly, I think. Portugal and Galicia, that trip that I took with Shirley to Portugal and Galicia, I put that online. It took quite a few videos to do. It begins about there. That's the way I chose to start the year. It was a very productive trip. But I gave an alternate, and just in case somebody wanted to use this in school and didn't want to start with geography, I like to start with a Shakespearean play. After a vacation. And so I taught my way through The Taming of the Shrew, Zeffirelli's, and that's there as an alternate. Well, when that's over, I'm now into the regular numbers again. So by the 52nd day, I go over to, if you haven't seen this already, my cat helps me some. I go over to Morrison's Cove. Don't do that. I go over to Morrison's Cove over the mountain to see the Southern Cove Power Union, and I film it. D.O. means details of, and I have a whole series now of videos that I call D.O. It's a sort of a pun on do the Southern Cove Power Union, details of. Then by the 56th day, which is just last week, Richard McCoy's collection of antique engines, hit and miss engines, and antique farm machinery at the Bedford Fall Foliage Festival. There's more than just that one spot. And then the 57th day, I began to build a fireplace down in the barn. And I decided, why not show it, what I'm doing. That can be one of the very many projects. Ultimately, I think my school is going to be very much about projects, as long as they are different and could be interesting. Now what's coming, within about a week, I'm going to teach my way through something called Wedge's Paradigm, which is a different way of thinking about everything from the economy to the material culture, but it's one of the reasons that I think so differently. Then I'm thinking about teaching through Christmas carols through December, analyzing the syntax, analyzing the harmony, giving some history of various of the old Christmas carols, the ones that the ones that you might find in a hymnal. And if that goes well, I may let that lead into teaching about choral music, sort of a history of choral music in a way. I think that's what I'm thinking about doing. I probably will go back to teaching German. That was fun, and with the help of my German friends, I think I can do that. And then once again, I'm thinking about travel. I'm thinking about going through the process of planning a trip to Europe. My thinking at the moment is that if I do that, it will be to go to Germany or Amsterdam and Germany for the purpose of studying. But I'll tell you more about that later. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this same video, but I'm going to erase the board, so I'll be right back. Hello and welcome to Frankskwl. One more time about the course catalog, sort of. Now, it has occurred to me that there are certain subjects that I keep coming back to and keep coming back to, and I think of them, I've begun to think of them almost like Wagnerian leitmotifs. In Wagner's operas, he just didn't have aria after aria or recitative. He had certain tunes that would come in and they'd go out, and they'd come in and go out, and they'd be called leitmotifs. You could call them themes if you wanted to. And I think in all my teaching you can identify probably many, but here are some of them. Timber framing, I mentioned it a lot. In German it's called Fachwerk, which I underline because it's foreign. Travel, planning, how you go about planning travel, and the execution of the trip. That keeps coming around. DO videos, details of videos. I have many videos where I film details, not not just there's the Eiffel Tower, but I'd be more likely to film maybe the a gusset and the rivets on the Eiffel Tower. Well, maybe not that. Language. I very much talk about language in various forms. The trades. The trades and projects. Well, they keep coming around, and ultimately they may work their way into a museum. I talk about this museum that I'd like to develop. It comes around. Music. I often talk about music or use music. Plants, whether it's traveling and going to gardens or economic botany or whatever. I very often come around, find myself talking about plants. Extreme recycling. Well, that's kilocalories as currency. Wages Paradigm is going to be about that. And my style with my projects is very much about not just recycling, but extreme recycling. Stonework. In the various videos that I've made details of, so often I'm filming stonework, just like the timber framing. And paving. You'd almost think I'd have a fetish about paving. I find it so interesting. I mean, especially so in Portugal, in Lisbon, but everywhere. Water. So basic to my thinking. Where does... I'll just say water. Our Talk Writing. Our Talk Writing explains this. This is Our Talk Writing. It's a different form of spelling. It's Our Talk Writing. You might write that out if you want. So I come to that. All right, so those are leitmotifs, and there are others as well. All right, now, Hee Haw. I have been fooling around with this idea of doing a thing from Hee Haw. Well, I should explain something about Hee Haw to me. When I lived in Brazil for 3 years, from 1968 to 1971, among poor people and poor Brazilian peasants. And when I came back to the United States, the Peace Corps warned about it. They said it's called readjustment, and they even gave you some money to help you deal with readjustment. I don't know if I ever readjusted, which maybe is for the best, I don't know. But in any case, back in New Hampshire, Hee Haw was on every Saturday night. And I loved that show because it's so stupid in so many ways. But the fact that there could be people that would look at that and enjoy that, it was almost like a way of making me believe that all hope was not lost. I came back from Brazil very discontent with the world that I came back to. Well, anyway, from Hee Haw, I've been working on this, and I think I can do this now. So here we go. I chose to use, I like this. And I didn't cut the handle off my scythe. And I'll leave the Harvard thing down there. Here we go. One last shot. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Do, mi, sol, la. Where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and I thought I found true love. You met another and you was gone.